So in this, I will be explaining some of the Clash Perk useful commands for clan leaders. Clash Perk is the best bot we have for Clash of Clans right now, and it's really useful. I'll be explaining just like the most important ones, whereas a lot more you can do with it. So the more basic ones you're gonna use more frequently. It's the player you can use for tag or by user. This will only work by user if an account is linked, and you can see a lot of information from the player. Units, upgrades, rushed, clan history. You can click these buttons. Here you can select another account of the user, and it's a really good initial information. So there's also the clan. Here it's the same thing, but for clones, it will show the information you can see when you click on the cloning game, like the description, the labels, the leader, location, and some useful things like donations, activity. This activity here, it's only really if the clan has closed warlocks, this might not be very accurate. Like this is a private or warlock. The bot can check the wars if the warlock is private. So this here is not very accurate if it's private. You can check out the combo and you can see a lot of information here. It's all really the description is really useful, so you can kind of go on from here. So next up we got capture rates. This one you can check. You can even set a week here, but if you don't run the week, it will just get the last one. Okay. So for example, I get this. You get like how many each one looted, how many hits, who, and you also get a really useful image here, which will have some data, which is very useful. There's the history. Here you can do a lot of things. Mainly, this is for checking like players' data. So the ones I use most, it's the double attacks. I think it's really useful when you're managing people that you don't know much. It's a really good indicator because war attacks he can kind of hit lower, higher. It's kind of he has to hit. It's harder to see. But there's a lot of information here. The red attacks is I think the most useful one. Like you can see the last 3 months how many stars we did at what league. In this case, it's 3 times Champions 2. Summer activity is like if you don't wanna learn this last three here, this is the most basic one and it does great. Like you can go further, and these three are further. We are a bit more complex and kind of nerdy, but if you just do this one, you're kind of good to go. So for example, you can even set the season. If you don't set the season, it will go to the current one. So you set it and it will have the basic this last online. So what was the last time someone entered Clash of Clans? Here is the score. This is activity score that Clash Perk uses like how often someone does war in the clan. how often he attacks, like normal attacks, how often he gets clone games, and etc. Donations. It's kind of a lot of things. How many times he logs in a day, and it goes all into this score. Generally, you can use this command to see who's more active and also who's very not active. You kind of have to be careful because new members are gonna have low score and that won't mean they are inactive. Just they just enter late, so they have less score. You can kind of get a summary. You can see who's least active. It's a very bread and butter command. You can just do this one and you're good to go for most of the time. Whereas now the I will use this one last. I will go to the export commands. Actually, it's kind of late, so I will do these far ones in a separate